Hey everyone, this is Spiro. For those of you that are not aware of the situation that's going on at the Westlake landfill, this is indeed a crisis situation here that has the potential to affect millions of people's lives. This area is just outside of St. Louis. Millions of people in that area. As you can see, this landfill has multiple different sections. But this section here would be a regular landfill that has had an underground fire smoldering for the past 5 years. These sections over here have secretly dumped nuclear radioactive waste, some of which is from the Manhattan Project. A lot of people in this area are not aware of this situation currently. There is a great danger and a potential for a catastrophic event because this fire that's been smoldering underground for the past 5 years is about 1,000 feet away from reaching this buried nuclear radioactive waste. So the EPA as well as local officials have known about this situation for many years. The local residents are just now finding out about this as they have announced a worst case scenario evacuation plan that they're springing on the public last minute. Now I myself, I'm a single guy, no kids, nothing like that. It would be next to impossible for me to pick up and move last minute on my own. It's just how it is. That's how the system is set up. Can you imagine how difficult that's going to be for a family that, or a single parent family, for example, living paycheck to paycheck, get this last minute notice that, oh, hey, by the way, there could be a nuclear disaster just right up the road here? Unacceptable. So let's check out some of this meeting here that they had at the church just a few days ago.
Know how far anything's going to reach until the event happens. I mean, I understand that's not an answer that you want to hear.
This is not just limited to Hazelwood and Bridgeton. You've got highly densely populated areas of St. Louis County, and people aren't even aware that this is existing. We are doing a disservice to the residents of St. Louis County by not educating them this is going on.
And as you can see, people are highly upset in this situation. You can see it in their eyes. They're passionate about this, and they should be. They have families, children to look after. This is unacceptable.
Pictures that they showed where it's 6 football fields that are on fire. None of that ground has been tested for radioactive waste. None of it. None of it. Well, he's the same extent. He's going to tell us why the EPA is not doing their job. This is the job of the EPA and the DNR. They've never tested any of that ground that's burning right now. As a resident of Spanish Village, we've been dealing with this. We've been sheltering in our homes for over 5 years. We can't open our windows. Our eyes burn when we walk outside. We vomit when we get out of our cars. This is what we've been dealing with. We know there's something in that dirt. If it's where they're telling us it's at, and then they're telling us now, the Attorney General saying it's outside of the perimeter of the property, why would it not be right there in the middle then? It didn't jump over what's on fire. But they won't test it. They haven't tested it. We don't know what's burning right now. We don't know what's going into those flares right now.
People have been oblivious for so long. Why can't we spread the news? People need to know what's going on. The evacuation plan, wouldn't it make more sense to have something, educate the people on, well, if the wind is northeast, then this is going to happen. Or if it's heading to the west, then this is what's going to happen. We need to have some kind of information. How are we going to get kids home safe from school? How do you get that number of kids out of school buildings and home safely or out of harm's way?
It's best to stay inside. That is the best advice that any coming from the CDC.
Are you familiar with Bhopal, India? Are you?
Yes, I am.
1984. And on December 2nd, these people were not aware of what that chemical company was doing. And they stayed in shelter, and then tens of thousands of those people died. People still have to breathe. For you to say that shelter in place is the right thing to do without having any other precautions, without knowing the jet stream, how it's moving, without talking to any of these first responders on how they're going to do this, which neighborhood goes first, It is uncalled for and disrespectful to the people who live in this region for you not to have a better plan. I was talking to all of the leadership at the American Red Cross, and they knew nothing about Bridgeton. Now, why is that important? It is important because if we're talking about sheltering in place, we need to have areas that are specific to radioactive airborne waste.
Republic Services, if you live in St. Charles, if you live in Chesterfield or Ellisville, your representatives have signed on to a fake coalition that Republic pays. Your representatives have signed on to a coalition that does not want this radioactive waste removed. It is fully funded and paid for by Republic. We will put that list up on our Facebook page so that you can look who your state reps are, look who your council members are, and see if they are on that list.
Extremely powerful, heartfelt, and almost, an urgent but almost desperate testimony there from all those people. I mean, people, if you're going to stand up for something, if you're going to get behind something, why not this? This is huge. This could affect the whole country and more, millions of people. So I want to thank Rebecca Rivas for allowing me to share that clip with you. There's multiple clips. I'm going to leave links for all this information. There's multiple groups in this fight. They're all working together. They need our help. We need to share this information, get this information out there, because this doesn't, whatever way the wind blows, if this fire reaches that toxic plume, it's going to affect those people in that area. So Just Mom St. Louis right here. This is the group that has contributed very much. They've put in a lot of work in getting this information out there to everyone. So like I said, I'm going to leave links. You guys make sure you subscribe. Come over here and check them out. A big shout out and much respect to everyone out there that is doing their part, that's spreading this information. This community is rallying together. It's a beautiful thing to see. I hate to see it under these extreme circumstances. And as you can see, the citizens are demanding the feds do something. They've known about this for some time now. Now, something else here I want to point out is the New Madrid fault is right in this area. It is right in this area, as you can see. This map right here. And this is an active fault. I mean, this is from earlier this year. I just randomly, I searched, a New Madrid quake, and boom, here it popped right up. Now this stretches, the New Madrid fault stretches along the Mississippi from near St. Louis to Memphis. So this Bridgeton landfill, this Westlake landfill, is right outside of St. Louis. So there's something to keep in mind here. I'm not trying to raise alarm or by any means, but as you can see, right here, anniversary of 8.0 earthquake along New Madrid. This was earlier this year. So big quakes can strike in this region. It can disrupt and displace ground and soil, obviously. That could seriously and severely complicate the situation. So I'm trying to raise awareness about this. So, and things can change at any moment. Hopefully, this does not get worse at this point. They did state that the residents are being told that this fire, best case scenario, is going to burn for another 5 years. Another 5 years. It's in the video clips. You can check it out. And the worst case scenario, they would have to evacuate. And you can see here, emergency managers mapped out New Madrid earthquake preparedness. And so this is stuff that they are aware of. Like I said, maybe they need to work a little bit better on their communication with the public, especially on events like this. This is back from 2014 here. On another note, CERN is setting to ramp up to the highest speed or highest levels of energy that it has at this point. And people have associated earthquakes with activity at CERN. So I'm not saying, I'm not predicting or hoping or anything like that this is true, that it's going to happen. But it's just another thing to be aware of. Right in this, CERN obviously in Geneva, Switzerland, but they're ramping up, and I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on quakes out there. Now, I want to leave you with this. This woman lived near the Chernobyl disaster, so she has experienced firsthand knowledge of this.
But there is a capability and responsibility, and people were elected to defend your interests, my interests, everybody's interests. And whose interests are they defending? Money interests.
Money.
Whose interests are they defending? The public services. Who don't, definitely, if there is their head office not in St. Louis, not in Missouri, somewhere in wherever they are, definitely they are safe. What about your children?